In episode 9 of season 6, we saw that Kim's story took a drastic turn, and she made the decision to leave Jimmy, step away from her career, pack her bags and leave town. This was due to her feeling that the damage that the pair caused together is far worse than when they're on their own. This was the last we saw of her. However, I don't think that this is going to be it for the character. We have 3 episodes remaining in the final season of Better Call Saul, and with the promise of an appearance from Walter White and Jesse Pinkman from Breaking Bad, I feel we could see the two worlds collide in a way that we've not expected, and I feel it could be tied in to Kim's story and all that she gets up to into the years where she's absent. So let's get into it. Here is how Kim's story connects Walter White and Jesse to Better Call Saul Season 6. Just to let you know, this video will contain spoilers. With the understanding that both Walter and Jesse are going to appear in the final season of the show, and knowing that there are specifically 3 scenes and no more, I don't imagine that the contribution is going to be extremely large, but it will for certain be satisfying. It's been said that there's going to be one of Walt on his own, one of Jesse on his own, and one of both of them together. This leads me to think that it's not going to be game-changing to the story, and makes me question if all 3 of the scenes will be taking place in the same timeline or not. I think we could see an episode or segment in the final 3 episodes that we have remaining that allows us to see what Kim got up to between the era of late 2004 when she left Jimmy and the early 2010s. I think this could be where we may encounter one appearance of either Jesse, Walt, or both of them. We've been told that the appearance of the 2 characters will not rely heavily on an individual having needed to have seen Breaking Bad before, which leads me to think that the connection between the 2 worlds could be Kim. There would be no way of Jimmy meeting both Jesse and Walt in the timeline of Better Call Saul, as we saw their first encounter was in Season 2 Episode 8 of Breaking Bad, and there was no familiarity present. This was their first encounter and it was clear to see. There are also talks of flashback scenes being the thing that's going to take place, and allow Walt and Jesse to be present. However, I feel the writers would think of a far more creative way than just putting a flashback up on screen. I feel the appearance needs to be pure, add value, and provide something that it hasn't before. And this is why I think it could be Kim, the very person that was the key to Jimmy's heart and what gave him life, meeting the 2 people in his world that changed his life forever at the end, and essentially made it worse and made him up and leave, would be a crossover that I think would be the perfect way for them to be incorporated into the story. I think we could potentially see Kim return to Albuquerque, New Mexico at some point between those years, and she may encounter Walt or Jesse at some point there. This would be as we'd be watching her story unfold in the episode. She knows where Jimmy's office is, so there's nothing to say that she couldn't have gone there once she arrived back in her home once upon a time, to go and check up, but maybe she encounters Walt or Jesse there. We know that she loved Jimmy dearly and she didn't leave him because she didn't love him anymore, but just purely based on the circumstances that they got themselves into and the toxicity between them. Time will have passed, her mindset may have changed, and she may well have wanted to take a trip down memory lane, but maybe by encountering Jesse or Walt, she would have got an inclination to all that he was tied up in, and she may well have wanted to steer clear of that, considering she left to go on the straight and narrow path following all that happened with Howard. In a teaser a few weeks back, we heard the oath that Kim took when she got sworn in as a lawyer, which would have been at the start of her career, and we've not heard that in the show yet. So I really do feel that we'll get an episode or an elongated segment that's focused on her, and it's where I believe we may see one of the encounters of Walt and Jesse. The next episode is titled Breaking Bad, which I think is most certainly alluding to the appearance of the 2 characters, but I think it could also be a double entendre to also show the breaking down of the character Kim, and the demise that she's undergone in her life to end up in the situation that she's found herself in, and the life that she went on to lead, following the hopes of being one of the best up-and-coming lawyers. It's a spitball theory that I do quite like the idea of, and these 2 parts of Jimmy's life that heavily impacted him to taking up the aliases at different time periods crossing over would be a great way for the connections to be made. I'm excited at the idea of next week being an important episode that pieces together the 2 worlds, and contains the appearances of the characters finally happening. So, there you have it. A theory on how Kim's story will overlap with Walter and Jesse's appearance in Better Call Saul Season 6. If you want to see more videos on Better Call Saul such as endings explained, theories and predictions, and character breakdowns, then click on the I button, or alternatively you can head over to my channel where you'll find them all. If you want to give me a show or movie to review, then head over to my Twitter, @BrainPilot_, and tweet me what show or movie you'd like me to review next. And finally, if you'd like to see what I rate the latest movies that don't quite make the cut to getting a dedicated video, then head over to my Letterboxd profile. It's where I rate the latest releases in real time. Do you think their stories could overlap? Leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time.